Seed is an NGO. It's a non-profit organization. We work with schools to transform their learning.
The Organic Classroom program is long-term, comprehensive and integrated.
It's a program that first seeks to assist education by bringing practical education into schools, and secondly is to support the nutrition or the feeding scheme of the school.
25% of children in the Cape Flats are too hungry to learn, so they come to school unable to concentrate.
So we run the program in the Western Cape with a couple of schools. I think we're running with about 24 in the Cape Flats. This Cape Flats area, in terms of the social aspect of it, it's challenged. There's high usage of drugs, and the fact that we come with this program is to also just take the children, from away from these things. They can get involved in terms of the skills, the garden skills, then they can have something else to do.
What Seed and the school is trying to do is to try to get the community involved in this whole thing, so that they can start understanding that if we don't sustain the environment that we're in, we'll be left with nothing.
Permaculture is a design system to enhance our environment and the people living within the environment. Because it comes from the permanent agriculture. So permanent agriculture means that we are able to have diversity within our environment.
That looks at ecological patterns and applies them to human habitats. So we design what we call cultivated ecologies, where our human needs are met as closely as possible to where we live. Very opposite to the current paradigm we're operating in, where people travel vast distances to work and they import at huge expense and huge footprint the resources they need. How this works in the school context is demonstrating as an entry point food sustainability, because it addresses an immediate need, and it also brings biodiversity back into these schools which are quite barren. And as our program develops, we can start introducing green technology, natural building, and all the other facets of permaculture. As it is a holistic design science that addresses housing, energy, social structures, education, work, food production. So the Organic Classroom program is about permaculture education systems. We build permaculture systems for real and relevant delivery of outcomes-based education.
Okay. The first phase, we call them the green beginners. So it's like the first phase where we put up the system and where we put the windbreaks, we plant the herb strips, and then later in the year we do a vegetable garden. And then the second phase is called the green business. And now at this phase we're looking at schools generating some bit of income from their garden. So it supports the feeding scheme, we support them educationally and also passing on entrepreneurial skills in terms of the learners. We're running markets here, and this is a market actually that opens the opportunity for learners to be exposed in selling their produce and their products. And learners don't only get, they get skills as well to process stuff. We make lotions, we make jams, we make a lot of things. You see, so they get that aspect as well. It's not only about planting, but it's also about how do you process your produce then. And then the third phase would be the Green Achievers. That one is the third phase where schools now are ready to run their programs. And in the third phase, we have our own exit strategy where we allow schools to take responsibility and to run the project.
We want to create an education system where you would find students keen even to come to learn from the garden, because from here they get all what they are taught inside.
Take out the weeds. I think the weed. I don't know.
The children love the program. Actually, it's very difficult when you take them to the garden. When it's their first time, sometimes it's not for them. They don't really want to get their hands dirty. But once they start working, it's difficult to take them back to the class. This year we came up with a theme of building environmental intelligent young people. So those are the young people that would be aware of what's happening in the environment.
The earthworms help us for the environment. They make compost and they eat paper because it's made out of plants.
They eat potato peels, they eat vegetables, they eat cucumber, onions. They eat all the kinds of stuff, but except onions. No, onions is too strong. Onions, pepper, and tomato.
Do you see the difference of these things? This one is different.
And it feels weird.
What is that? It's an egg, it's a baby one.
I went to one of our third year schools, Caravelle, the other day, who've got a nursery. And they've got, I think, grade 7 classes that have been interacting for 3 years now with eco schools and the seed permaculture program. And I had all these little guys in there making cuttings. And what really struck me was how attuned they were to plants. They could handle the plants softly, and they knew that, it was just amazing. And they made hundreds of cuttings in a very short space of time.
The soil is quite sandy. We mulch, we put in compost, and actually in schools that we've worked with, you can see that it's not only transforming people, it's transforming the soil as well.
Other benefits of the program are climate mitigation, biodiversity and habitat renewal, community self-reliance, community building, job creation.
When you spend time doing gardening as a student now, you learn a lot. You're stress-free, and you even when you're planting, you begin to sing to yourself. It's a nice way that a youth have to do, and it's what I recommend most of the time when people have just not to go for booze or whatsoever, but come to the gardening and work out. In return of your stress, you're getting something, which is you producing food for yourself.
There's a broader context to the seed program. Yes, we're enriching curriculum and developing greener environments at schools and looking at good nutrition, but at the same time we're also fleshing out and setting up post-matric diplomas, applied permaculture training, so that we can set up a kind of career path, so that learners can go through schools and exit and be able to get further qualification, so that we can fast track sort of sustainable development practitioners, or what Lee calls the post-carbon professionals.
Now what we are interested in is to teach the others that are coming, so that when we leave, the sustainability of permaculture and gardening at school won't just fade, but to be an ongoing process.
And it turned out so well.
Oh, you enjoyed? The whole idea of permaculture is to enhance positive change, behavior, and understanding about the environment.
And how to take care of nature also.
So that nature can take care of us.